We got the trends in our 4 best bets for NFL Week 15. Let's talk some football. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back in to another episode for Just a Bet Outside. I am your host, Steven, and we're back to talk NFL Week 15. That's right, it is a big slate this weekend. We went 1-1 on Thursday Night Football. We'll go over that recap in just a little bit, but I want to give you some quick reminders. The NBA Best Bets video for the Friday slate, that video will be out after this one. If you're looking for NFL player props and anytime touchdowns, we drop those every Friday night, so that will be out tomorrow or whenever you're watching this. But we are also hoping to get a Sunday Night Football Best Bets and preview video out as my Seahawks are playing on that one. So if we do, that'll probably be Saturday evening sometime. But let's get into it. We got no buys. We got 4 weeks left until the NFL playoffs. A big slate, and I got 4 best bets for you. But before we get started, let's go to that dad joke. So here we go. I once swallowed a book of synonyms. It's given me the sorest throat I've ever had. Do you get it? Huh? Okay. In this video, we're going to recap Thursday night, and then we're going to give you our Week 15 trends. They went 15-4 last week, or 15-4. That would be incredible. They went 5-4 last week, and then we'll give you our 4 best bets and wrap it all up with the recap. So hit that like button if you haven't already. Leave a comment below to help this channel continue to grow. And we just hit 34,000 subscribers. Thank you guys. We appreciate it. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Come join this incredible community. So let's get it started. And that means it's recap time. All right, there it is. We start out with a winner. George Kittle, 40-plus receiving yards. Got that really early in the game. And then Kyron Williams, 60-plus rush yards. Crushed this. I think he ended with around 100 rush yards. So that was a nice, easy winner. And then Puka Nacua. Their pass game was doing absolutely nothing. Then about 9-10 minutes left in the fourth quarter, they throw a bomb to him for 51 yards, and he catches it. I don't know what happened to the defense. There was no safety, and they just let him do a go route without touching him. I mean, any receiver could have caught that. It was just right down the field, and that's what it is. But again, when you do a longest reception prop, it takes one terrible play by the defense, and that's what you get. So anyways, that was the loser. So 1-1. Pretty much lost nothing, maybe like 0.06 or something. But either way, we're up 1.04 units, 113 and 117. I'm ready to get on a hot streak, and I'm feeling good about this weekend. So hopefully that starts this weekend. But before we get to those best bets, let's talk the Week 15 trends. All right, here we go. This is page 1 of the trends. These are the ones that I use for the official record. This season, the trends, if you just tailed these blindly, you were 90 and 78. As you can see, last season, it was even better, 115 and 81. But here we go. Titans 1-8 against the spread last 9 games. If you like that, you take Cincinnati -5. Chiefs 0-7 against the spread last 7. That's right. They have lost 7 straight games against the spread, but they keep winning the games. But if you like that, you have to take the Browns +4. Disgusting. Since 2020, Ravens are 19-8-1 against the spread in games after a loss. If you like that, you take the Ravens at -16.5. That's huge. Jets 3-11-1 against the spread. Last 15 games as a favorite. That means you take Jacksonville +3. Panthers 3-14 straight up and against the spread last 17 games as a favorite, and they are a favorite for the first time in years, and I mean that. But if you like that, you take Dallas +3 or the money line. Washington Commanders team total is 5-1 to the over in 6 road games. Their team total is 25.5. Texans 5-1 to the under at home. Miami 5-1 to the under on the road. Total in that one is 46.5 or 47, I guess, on some books. Steelers 7-0. Straight up and against the spread the last 7 games as an underdog. You guys know Mike Tomlin as an underdog, one of the best, if not the best, underdog coach in NFL history. If you like that, you take Pittsburgh +5.5 or on the money line as they are facing the Philadelphia Eagles in the Battle of Pennsylvania. Lions are 11-2 against the spread in the first half this season. Lions' first half line is -1.5 against the Bills. Another incredible game this weekend. Broncos 11-2 to the first half over. That first half total this weekend is 21.5 against the Colts. And then Cardinals 2-9 against the spread last 11 games as a favorite. If you like that, you take the New England Patriots +6. And the final one on this page, the Bucks 12-3 ATS, their last 15 road games. That's impressive. They are +3 in that one. So that's page 1. Take a screenshot. Again, this should be a part of your handicap, not just the only reason you make a ton of bets. But now, second page, I don't have a lot here. Just kind of some more info, not counted towards trends, records, or anything. But teams coming off a bye, playing teams that are not coming off a bye, are actually 9-13 straight up this season. They haven't fared that well. Texans 11-2 against the spread in the first half, 2-11 against the spread in the second half. If you're someone who likes to bet first half, second half, that kind of thing, it's been wild how much they've struggled in the second half. Bo Nix 6-0 straight up and against the spread in his only 6 games as a favorite. That is incredible, and it must be a record for a rookie. Mike Tomlin, overall, like we talked about, 64, 35, and 1 ATS as an underdog in his career. And then Titans 2-11 against the spread this year through 13 games. That is the worst since the 2016 Browns. That's insane. But anyways, that's all the trends I have for you for week 15. And now it is time for the best bets. All right, this first one, we start out with a teaser. That's right, 6-point teaser. Give me the Commanders -1.5 and the Bills +8.5. This is -120 on DK for any 6-point teaser. This is a 1-unit play, so what it means is I'm taking 6 points in my favor. So Commanders down from 7.5 down to 1.5, and the Bills +2.5 all the way up to 8.5. So let's talk the Commanders -1.5 first. They are taking on a very injured Saints team. So let's talk Saints real quick. Looks like rookie Jake Haener will be the starting quarterback over Spencer Rattler. That should be enough, really, honestly, right there. But neither are good. They have to play the quarterback position without Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed, Taysom Hill, possibly Alvin Kamara, who just entered the injury report with an illness. And they also now have to face a top 10 pass defense. Saints' only chance of success in this one is to run the ball, assuming Kamara is healthy enough to play. But the Commanders do not have to worry about the passing game, really, in regards to it being Jake Haener and no receivers. So I think they're going to load the box. I think it'll help them slow down the Saints offense or Saints run game. The Saints just scored 14 points last week versus the Giants, so they've struggled. Without Derek Carr and their top 4 weapons, of course they're going to struggle. You can't expect anything else, really. And then the Commanders. Jaden Daniels looked fully healthy in week 13 before the bye. Commanders are now coming in rested, healthy, and they're going to be facing one of the worst run defenses in the entire NFL. Commanders have had a lot of success on the ground, not with just Jaden Daniels, but with Brian Robinson as well. I expect them to gash the Saints on the ground here. Saints are awful during the versus the pass as well. Don't get a ton of pressure. I think the Commanders kind of do whatever they want on offense. I actually like their team total over as well. But overall, I think the Commanders win this one easy. I think they cover the 7.5 spread. I'm taking it down to 1.5 though. They're just a better team on both sides of the ball. So give me the Commanders to just win by 2 or more points. And the second one, the game of the freaking week, the Bills at the Lions. If you aren't excited about this, I don't know what to tell you. But the Bills have only lost one game by 8 or more points this year, way back when they got crushed by the Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore. The Bills' offense, though, I don't see the Lions stopping this offense at all. The Bills this season scored the second most points per game at 30.5 points. The offense is absolutely elite. They have scored 30-plus points in 7 straight weeks. That is insane in itself right there. 77 points in the last 2 weeks versus the Rams and the 49ers. And then the Lions' defense, they are decimated with injuries, and that's why I don't think they can stop this team. DJ Reader, who's probably their best run stuffer in the D-line, he looks like he may not play again. They may now have to slow down the leading MVP candidate in Josh Allen. They struggle. They don't see him a lot either. They struggle a bit versus the slot just for a little matchup-wise. I think Shakir has a good game here, but the one worry, obviously, is on the other side of the ball. The Bills slowing down the Lions. This is not me saying the Bills are going to win this game. I'm taking plus 8.5. I just think this is a game that goes down to the wire. But the Bills' run defense did play well, holding Kyren Williams to only 3 yards per carry. Even if the Lions are successful on the ground, like I said, I don't see the Bills being stopped either. I think it's one of those shootouts, and we see that with the total. It is a 54.5 total. That is a very high one, that's for sure. But I love getting over one score here. Like I said, this game has a field goal written all over it. You see a lot of Lions games against decent teams. They haven't been running away with it. They've been winning some close games. They even won a close one against the Bears recently on Thanksgiving. So I think the Bills have a chance to win because of all the defensive injuries and all that. And it's going to be hard to stop that Bills offense. So give me the Bills plus 8.5, Commanders -1.5 as my first best bet. All right, this second one takes us out to Jacksonville, where the Jags host the New York Jets. Jets -3. Total in this one is 40.5. Yes, I am betting on this game. It is absolutely ugly. Doesn't mean you have to watch it. But give me the Jets team total over 20.5 points at -125 on DK. I'm going to put a half unit on it because, well, it's the Jets offense. And I know they are ugly, but you know who's just as ugly? It's the Jags defense. So the Jets last week, they looked good against the Miami Dolphins. They didn't look like a team that gave up already on the season or anything. They had 402 total yards. Rodgers threw for over 300. They scored 26 points. And the Jets offense averages 19.2 points per game this season. I know it has been a struggle, but they've now scored 21 or more points in 4 of the last 5 games. It's not like we're asking them to do something wild and crazy here by putting up 28 points or anything. I just need them to score 21 or more. They have the weapons, obviously, Devontae Adams, Garrett Wilson, all these boys. They have the weapons against this Jags team. And let's talk about this defense. We've talked about it all season long. They're playing a little bit better than they did early in the season, but they're still not good. They just faced 2 struggling offenses the last 2 weeks. Gave up 23 to Houston, only 10 to Tennessee, but Will Levis in that Titans offense may be the worst in the league when they're having a bad day. They did give up 52 to the Lions just before that, but they're 31st in pass yards allowed, 24th in rush yards allowed, 28th on third down defense, and they give up a ton of big splash plays. Like we said, they're on a bottom 5 when it comes to giving up 20 or more yard plays or 40 or more yard plays. So hopefully Rodgers can take advantage of that with Adams and Wilson and these boys and get some freaking points. And plus, Mac Jones is the quarterback of the Jacksonville Jaguars. I expect turnovers. He has 5 interceptions the last 4 games. Interceptions could be a pick six, could just be an INT to set them up for some easy points. So that's another way to get some good field position and some quick points as well. I just need him to score 21. Don't let me down. So give me the Jets to score 21 or more for the 5th time in 6 games as my second best bet. All right, before we get to bet number 3, we got to tell you about this promo with Bet365. New customers only. Click that link below if you want to sign up for this sportsbook, and I always recommend as many sportsbooks as you can to get the best odds. But once you do that and use that link, you deposit $10 in your account, you bet $5, win or lose, you are getting $150 in bonus bets right as that bet settles. It's an incredible deal. So if you're one of the legal states for Bet365, now is the time to take advantage of it. But of course, you must be 21 years or older to gamble. If you have a gambling problem, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, back to the bets. All right, this third one takes us out to Houston, Texas, where the Texans host the Miami Dolphins. Texans -3. Total in this game is 47, and we are going to the total. Give me the under 47 at -110 on BetMGM. This is a half unit play for me as well. You saw it earlier, though. There's a reason for it. Dolphins 5-1 to the under on the road. Texans 5-1 to the under at home. That is 10-2 if you put it together. Thank you, hash brown math. But in fact, in the last 13 games, the Texans have played with a total of 45 or higher. They've gone under. 10-2-1 is their record. It's been crazy. Texans are just under machines right now. But the Texans offense, their O-line, if you watch them play, their O-line struggles. I mean, they don't get a lot of push. They have been bad this season. It's part of the reason why CJ Stroud is having this sophomore slump, as is this whole offense. It's hurt both the run and pass game. Texans are either committing a blown block or allowing a pressure on 30% of plays. I saw that somewhere. It was just absolutely crazy. That's horrendous. But this offense is average to below average in a lot of offensive categories. 12th in total yards, 21st on third down percentage, 17th in passing yards, 18th rushing yards per attempt, 21st in red zone offense. They cannot finish drives. It's just been average to below average. Like I said, Dolphins averaging 15.8 points per game on the road. Obviously, a couple of those were without Tua, but they tend to struggle versus decent defenses. We've talked about that for a few years now. Houston is considered a pretty good defense. Run game has been non-existent for Miami. They keep trying to run it, but they cannot. Last 3 games combined for Achane, 31 carries for 70 yards, averaging 2.2 yards per carry. It has been atrocious. The offensive line is not opening up any holes whatsoever. That means they're going to have to rely on passing the ball versus a top 10 pass defense in the Houston Texans, who are allowing just under 200 pass yards per game. So overall, I think we're getting a game of field position, a defensive battle, 2 struggling O-lines, and defenses that have shown that they can make some plays, 2 struggling run games. As long as we avoid big turnovers like pick sixes or special teams touchdowns or things like that, I like our chances for yet another under in a Texans game. So give me the under 47 in this one as my third best bet. All right, this fourth and final bet takes us out to Denver, Colorado, where the Broncos host the Indianapolis Colts. Broncos -4.5. Total is 44. We're going to a total again. Give me the over of 44 at -108 on DraftKings for a half unit. Both teams coming off a bye week here. So with 2 offensive-minded head coaches, I kind of like that. It gives them an extra week to come up with a good offensive game plan. This line started at 42.5. It's now up to 44, sometimes 44.5 on some books. That's for a reason. So let's talk pace real quick. These 2 teams are in the top 10 for pace. This is going to be an up-tempo game. The Broncos have been playing faster and faster as the season goes on. So let's talk the Broncos first. Their offense, while they play well at home, they've scored the 7th most points per game at home at 27.2. They have the 5th most passing yards per game. The O-line has protected very well. Defense for the Broncos, they've shown some weaknesses lately compared to earlier in the season. Just gave up over 500 yards to the Browns and Jameis Winston. Before that, they had 2 easy matchups versus a very massively struggling Atlanta Falcons offense and the Las Vegas Raiders, who have been bad all year. Still a good defense. The Broncos, don't get me wrong, but I think the Colts are going to be able to score here. And then let's talk to Colts real quick. Anthony Richardson is as inconsistent as it gets. He's looked a little better since he came back as a starter again. But what I like here is the Colts run game. I think they can get it going. This Colts O-line is getting healthier and healthier, and they're one of the best in the NFL. I think we forget that because they've had some injuries. But with that being a good offensive line, you're going to see a good combo of Jonathan Taylor and hopefully Anthony Richardson with his legs as well to move the ball in this game. And then Colts wide receivers, they're all healthy, it looks like. Pierce, Downs, Pittman, all these boys, they're going to be ready to roll. So that's going to cause some problems, I think, for the Broncos, who are kind of good when it comes to the number one, maybe number two DB, which it looks like that number two guy will be back. I forgot his name now. But I do think they can still beat them, especially out of the slot and things like that. But the defense for the Colts have struggled mostly all season. Recent games, 422 yards given up to and 24 points to the New England Patriots. That's pretty pathetic. 27 points to the Jets and 415 yards to the Buffalo Bills. Obviously, it's the Bills. But they've been awful versus the run. 31st in rush yards per game. Now, I know the Broncos are not a team that runs the ball very well, but if they can get the run game going just at all, I think that's going to help out this passing game even more, make it that much better. So I expect the Broncos to do some of the heavy lifting here, but I do think the Colts can kind of sneak up on you and score some points here coming off a bye. So I agree with the line movement. Again, any pick sixes or INTs or anything in this game could actually be used to our advantage. So I like some points here. Give me the over 44 as my fourth and final bet. Let's have a great weekend. We need it. Let's start hot. But again, NFL player props and anytime touchdowns will be out late Friday night. Before we get out of here, let's check out the recap. All right, there it is. We start out with the 1 unit play. Commanders -1.5, Bills +8.5 in a 6-point teaser. And the Jets team total over 20.5 at -125. Under 47, Miami Houston -110. And over 44 in the Indy and Denver game at -108. Let's have a great week 15. Thank you guys for watching. If you haven't already, please hit that like button. Help this channel continue to grow. But leave your bets in the comments below. I'd love to see it. See what you guys got rolling for this weekend as well. Hope everyone has a great weekend and enjoy some football, and we'll talk to you soon.